Back to the Stormlands. Just going to be a quick one today, because plenty to do IRL, working on the next cinematic. Also, this will just be an introduction into the next chapter of the D&D saga we have here on the channel. So if you've been keeping up to date with what's happening within this campaign, then you will know that last session the party did in fact manage to clear the very first dungeon, the pit, which was exciting news for them, as behind the scenes they obviously curried some favour with the local Lord Blackstone. It was, I must admit, a rather easy breezy little dungeon. It was, after all, meant to just ease both me and the party that I control into the solo D&D experience. So, and on top of that also, might I add that I've never used any accessories such as sandbox generator in order to aid me through a solo experience such as I have, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and so that's what I'm going to stick with for the very next dungeon. Sandbox generator, definitely a thumbs up from me. So, on to new vistas. The next dungeon will be at Stormwatch Tower, right on the tip of the peninsula, as can be seen on the map up here. There is a beacon to guide ships coming in and leaving the area. Also, Lord Blackstone has stationed a number of men to maintain the tower, man its battlements, keep an eye out for any potential threats as well as usual, monsters and rivals as well. And so, of course, poking around where they shouldn't, the sentinels stationed at Stormwatch Tower had discovered what appears to be a sealed trapdoor, massive in size, and after prying it open and inspecting what lay beneath, none returned. So they slammed the trapdoor shut, resealed it, filled up boxes with lead shot or whatever, just heavy stuff, and just sealed that mofo to make sure that whatever's down there doesn't come up and out. After which they dispatched their fastest horseman to report the news to Lord Blackstone, who, just after patting the party on the backs, congratulating them for clearing the pit, has now given them a new assignment. Which, of course, having nothing better to do, and being too low level to start exploring the world at large, let's be honest here, decide, sure, why not? We'll go check out what's going on at Stormwatch Tower, and that will be our next dungeon. So, details. I'm going to stick more closely to the encounter tables as presented in the rule cyclopedia. It does mean that it will be more of a funhouse dungeon. Now, what is a funhouse dungeon? If you're unaware of this term, it means that the dungeon ecology, quote unquote, won't necessarily make much sense. I mean, there might be one room that's full of skeletons, and you boot the door open, the next room might have, I don't know, wood elves. You boot the next door open, there might be purple worms. You boot the next door open, there might be, well, who knows, nixies, fairies, dwarves, gnomes, you name it, all kinds of craziness. And so to satisfy the kind of DM brain that I have, I've decided that, well, for one, there'll be a reason why it is such a crazy place down there. Maybe it's a wizard's laboratory or some sort of experimentation labyrinth from centuries past. And so because of that, there are portals that have opened up. One-way portals, so if we discover them, which we will in due time, hopefully if we survive, they're one-way portals, so we won't be able to step through. Only things can step out. All right, so once they're discovered, we'll then move on and try and figure how to close them up. Once 3 are being closed, that dungeon is done, and I'll stop generating further floors or levels as they're known in the D&D parlance. Important thing to note is that essentially how I'll encounter these portal rooms will be when I roll up to see what the nature of yet unexplored room is. As usual, it's, trap room, monster room, or special room. In the pit, I had straight up, for simplicity's sake, designated there will only be 2 special rooms, and they were very specific. In this, I'm going to stick with what's in the book, but before I roll on the weird and wonderful tables in the sandbox generator, I will designate each special room rolled up has a 50% chance of actually being a portal room. And then there might be encounters and blah, blah, blah. How we close the portals, I don't know just yet. I think that's something the party's going to have to figure out once they come across one. Presumably they'll head back to the court magician, the magist, or magist. Still not sure how to pronounce that word. Sophos, who is also the tutor for Mavros, the party wizard. And I'm sure he'll have some words of wisdom and some insight as to do that. Maybe providing them with a wand of dispel magic or something to that effect. It might even just come down to simply caving in the room or boarding up the entrance to each of the doors. We'll work it out. But that's what's in store for the campaign from this point forward. By the way, if you notice things look a little bit different, it's because I'm using a different camera. My previous camera is fantastic for taking photos, not so much for filming for protracted periods of time, such as dungeon delving requires. And if things look a bit more orange, it's because my the globe has blown and the only one available was one of a warmer color temperature. I will fix that as soon as I can. Unfortunately, right now I'm kind of pressed for time. I've got a lot of things on my plate and I'm really looking forward to the next chapter in the D&D campaign. If you made it this far, thank you very much. And as usual, a big old shout out and heartfelt thanks to the patrons that are ever expanding on you guys. Thanks for all the support. Don't worry, there's more cinematics in the works. So until next week, hope you have a fantastic week and take care.
Chin ass.